So here again we will continue the two-dimensional array, and let us try with one example that how to use multiple dimensional array. So at this moment we will use one matrix. We will try to multiply two matrices. Okay. It's a very simple problem. If two matrices are given, then how to multiply them. So the logic is known to you. You have learnt it in mathematics. So we are going to discuss that thing. Okay. So let me. So I am assuming that here two matrices are given. So the matrices are A and B. Okay. So here one matrix is given. The matrix is A. Its dimension is n. Another matrix is given, and this matrix is B. Its dimension is P2. Okay. So if we want to multiply these two matrices,
So we can't hear you. You're not audible.
hello, am I
Yes,
audible?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, suddenly I was disconnected. Broadband connection was lost. Okay, so let us resume from the same. Let us take two matrices. One is A, another one is B. So what will be the constraint of this multiplication? Whether any matrix can be multiplied by anyone else? Like if n,
So are you sharing the screen?
yeah, it's not shared. You just Is it feasible?
Yes, sir, now visible.
So let me consider that two matrices are given. One matrix is A, another matrix is B, and the dimension of the first matrix is Mn, and this one is Pp. If we want to multiply these two matrices, then whether any matrix can be multiplied with another matrix, both of these matrices contain integer values. Whether it's possible to multiply any matrix with another matrix.
No, sir.
What is the condition?
So here n and p must be equal.
N and P, this dimension must be equal. Otherwise, it cannot be done. So when we will write a program, then we have to take the dimensions of the matrices and we have to check whether this dimension are same or not. If it's same, n equals to p, then it can be multiplied. Okay. Now, if these matrices are given, then just if we want to calculate the resultant matrix C, so how the value of an element will be calculated? I want to calculate. So if this is the resultant matrix, and in this matrix any cell, if this is the cell and it's ij, okay, so the position of this one is ij. So how to calculate the value of Cij? Cij will be calculated as, what will be the value of Cij? A ij multiplied by B ij. Is it? How this value will be calculated? We know that.
Sir, Aij into Bji.
Okay, not
I mean,
exactly
the
that.
row.
Yeah. So
The
if this
row
is the A
column
matrix, yeah. So if the ith row of this matrix will be multiplied with jth column
yeah.
of this, so what will be the value of Cij? We are multiplying A and B. So what will be the value of this Cij? So we have to keep the proper dimensions here. So we are going to multiply this. So what will be the exact value? So AI, ith row will be multiplied with jth column of B. So if I say that it's k, ik, ith row, kth column, okay. So if k equals to 1, so I1, AI1 will be multiplied with B, the first element B1j, so it will be BKJ. If we multiply it, so that means, and we calculate sum of it over K, then we will get the result. So that means if I want to calculate Cij, the value is actually AI0, or I'm just considering 1. We are not representing it in C programming language. So A1 B1 J plus AI2 into B2J plus AI3 into B3J. In that way, how long it will run? Until we reach at end of the row of the first matrix or at the end of the column of the second matrix, because the dimensions are same. Okay, so in that way it will be calculated. Okay, so in C program, how do we calculate it? We have to take two matrices and we have to multiply them. So what will be the way to calculate it? Let us check. So I'm going to write a program by which we can take some input. Okay, so it's a two-dimensional array. So say this array is A. I am declaring size as 10. Here it's 10 again. I have to declare another array, so it's b equals b, and say the size initially we are declaring it as 10 10. Okay, and the resultant matrix C, which is again 10 10. Just I will remove the things from here. We have just declared 3 matrices. So matrices are being represented by array. So array A, array B, and another array is C. Okay, we have to take in. So first we have to take the dimension as input from the user. Otherwise we can't proceed. So just I'm writing that I'm taking the dimension from the user. So enter dimension, the first matrix. In which form we expect this dimension? M n. So the dimension will be in that form, m and n. Okay. So user will get this message, then we have to read the value. So scanf percentile d. I'm going to take both of this input from here. So first one, say I'm going to store it in m, and second one in n. So the dimension of the first matrix is mn. So here we are declaring the variables m n. Okay. Same thing needs to be done for second matrix. Enter the dimension of second matrix. Say it's pq. Dimension is pq. So you have to declare the variables p and q. Okay. If we declare the variables pq, let us keep it in p and q. So till now what we have done, we have just declared the arrays, we have taken the dimension. Now how long? So what will be the first task in our program? Before multiplication we have to check whether this multiplication is permissible or not. So we will check if the dimension, that means if n equals, if this value n is equals p, then we can proceed. Otherwise, if it's not true, then we have to give some error message. Just I can write that printf, it's invalid dimension. Okay. So if it's invalid dimension, just I will print this message. If n equals to p, then we have to take the input. If we want to take the input, let us take this input. So printf, enter the elements. Just I will write enter the elements. So how long the first loop will run? The line number 20. I equals to 0, I less than m number of rows, and how many columns are there? N number of columns. As index starts from 0, that's why it will be less than m and j will be less than n. So we have to take this input. So the name of the array is A, so we are going to take this input in array A. Okay. So two variables we are using here. One variable is I, another one is j. The variable. After taking the first matrix, we have to take second matrix. Okay. So if we want to take the second matrix, then I will just copy and paste this code. Enter the elements. The elements. I will add one more thing. elements for first matrix and messages enter the elements for second matrix. Nothing else. The element for second matrix. Okay. Now, in case of second matrix, what is the dimension? P number of rows and Q number of columns. Okay. So we'll run this loop up to this. Is there any confusion up to here? Okay. So just we have taken the input for matrix 1 and matrix 2. Now we are going to multiply them. Okay. So if we want to multiply them, what will be the way to multiply? So let us check it, that how to multiply these two matrices, and finally I'm going to print the result. So I'll just delete this line and I'm going to print the result. Save as command file. Okay, so what will be the logic for multiplication? Let us come here. So I have to calculate Cij. For each and every row and every column, I have to calculate this Cij. So if I want to calculate Cij, I have to run a loop. Okay. So this loop will run in the similar way. I will just copy it at this moment and I will modify it, because otherwise the same thing I have to write. So here I am writing the logic of multiplication. Okay. So it will be the logic of multiplication. Writing some comment. So for I equals to j, I want to calculate the value Cij. So this I equals to j to m, and what will be the dimension of the C matrix? If I multiply mn, amn and bpq, the dimension of the C matrix will be m cross p, n cross q. Okay, so it will be m by q. So the first loop will run for m times and the inner loop will run for q times. Okay, so here we are going to calculate the value of C matrix. So we are going to calculate Cij. Now what will be the Cij? So if this loop runs, the loop at line number 35 and 37, if this loop runs, that indicates that in every iteration of the inner loop, one element of Cij will be calculated. So initially I equals to 0, j equals to 0. At the first iteration, C0 will be calculated, then C01, C02, in that way. So this inner loop will calculate the elements of each and every row of C at a time. Okay. But for this multiplication, if I want to calculate the value of Cij, what's the logic of Cij? To calculate Cij, how many multiplications are needed? We have to calculate sum of n number of multiplications, because if a dimension of A matrix is Mn and B matrix is Pq, where n is equals with P, in that case, to calculate one element of Cij, we have to multiply A I0, B01, 0j, A I1, B1j plus this. In that way, how long it will run? The dimension of A is Mn. So the last element of this matrix will be just like, if I say, it will be A I n multiplied by b n j. So we have to multiply the elements of the matrices n times. So I need another loop. So to calculate Cij, I need another loop. So what I can do, I'll just initialize this value Cij to 0. Then I will write another loop for the multiplication, because n number of times this loop should run. So for say I'm going to declare another variable k equals to 0, k less than n, k plus plus. So first thing is I have to declare another variable k. Back here, so the value of Cij is being calculated. So Cij, this value will be plus equals a to be multiplied with aik. We have formulated it. So aik multiplied by b, what, bk aj. That will be the logic. So if this inner loop, the loop which is being controlled by k, if this loop runs, so n number of times this will run. So in every iteration the value of k will change, and so I0, then here I1, here I2, I3, in that way it will be calculated up to In. Okay, so finally it will be calculated. Now after calculating it, I want to print the values. So just I will copy the loop, and here I want to print the values. So if I want to print the values after this calculation, now let us write the logic to print the values. So just we have to use printf result is, say I will use new line, the result is, so for instead of this it will be printf. So printf, I will print the value of C matrix. What will be the dimension of this? Dimension of this is m and so that will be the result. Now what will happen here, if I multiply the matrices and print the result, then all the elements will be printed in the same row, because we don't have any new line here. So after printing a row, I can just add one more statement to print a new line. Okay, nothing else. So at the end of a new line, it will just move the cursor at the beginning of the next line. So it is being printed in proper format, and I will add a space here so that each and every element which are being printed on console can be determined. So you should be able to distinguish them, otherwise it will be overlap. So let us try. So the first thing, it will ask for the dimension of the first matrix. So if it asks for dimension of the first matrix, then Mn, say the dimension is 3, 4. Okay. Dimension of the second matrix. So if the dimension of the second matrix is 2, 2, it will print invalid dimension. Okay, because these two matrices cannot be multiplied. Now, if the dimension of the first matrix is 3 and dimension of the second matrix is 4, 2, it can be multiplied. So enter the elements of the first matrix. Now let us enter the elements of the first matrix. 3, 4, 3 number of rows, 4 columns. So just I am writing 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2, 4, 1, 6. That's all about the first matrix. Now it will ask for second matrix. Now I am entering the second matrix. So just in the similar way. Oh, it's 4 rows, 2 columns. 4 number of rows, 2 columns. Four number of rows, 2 columns. So the result is, what is the result? The dimension of this will be 3 by 2, but it prints some garbage value, so obviously we have done some mistake. Okay, we have to check it. We have done some mistake. So Cij, let us check. Ij, dimension of C 10 10, that's not a problem. So in every multiplication, I equals to 0, j equals to 0, I less than n, j less than q, Cij equals to 0. Yeah, Cij was Ik plus Bkj. Find any error?
Sir, I think a K should not start from 0 every time.
This one.
Yes, sir.
Why?
In that case, it is only adding the first row and the first column every time for every element.
Yes. I want to calculate C. Okay, so that means C 0 0. To calculate C 0 0, what we have to multiply? So the 0th row will be multiplied with 0th column. So 0th row will be multiplied with 0th column. The first element will be multiplied with this. Okay, so if I multiply these two elements, then obviously the k will be 0. If I want to calculate this element, okay, so basically I want to calculate ith row jth column, the element at this Cij position. So ith row will be multiplied, it's a generic, so ith row, so it's a jth column. So the first element of ith row, so ai0 multiplied by b, first element means the first element of jth column. So first element of jth column is again 0 j. Okay, so if every iteration this value will be calculated by the value of k, where k starts from 0. So k equals to 0 to n, this loop will run and it indicates that the value is going to be, what will be the value of this? So basically this k is controlling the loop to multiply n times. So n times the element of A will be multiplied with the element of B array. But somehow some garbage value is being stored. Let us check that why the value is garbage. Whether we have taken it properly.
Sir, I think while taking the second matrix, we have written A. It will be B. I mean, when we take the second matrix input. Sir, in the input,
Yes,
in
somehow I
input
have
of the
done
second
some
matrix.
mistake. Yeah,
Sir,
this one will be
here
B.
in
It will be B. So as B matrix is garbage, that's why it is being printed. Okay, let me check. So okay, now 4, 2, and say it's 2, 3. So the elements of the first matrix, 4 rows, 2 columns, 1, 2. Okay, this is the first matrix, and second matrix is okay, 2 rows, 3 columns. So this is the resultant matrix. Okay. Any confusion up to this?
yes, sir.
So this is the way how you can implement your logic. Now here we are using array. So one dimensional array as well as two dimensional array. We have shown you that why how the elements are being stored in memory, why it's contiguous. Whether I have probably I have shown you that why the memory addresses are contiguous. Even if it's a two-dimensional array, the elements are, let me show you that if this is the C matrix, instead of printing the value of C, I want to print the address of all the elements of C. If it's a C, just I will enter some garbage value. So 4, 2, 2, 3. You can check the address. Okay, what is the address? A50, then A54, A58. So the addresses are incrementing by 1. Now in this case, why it's 78? Can you tell me? After 58 it should be 62, but why it's 78? In array the memory allocation is contiguous. Can you tell me why these elements are like this? Notice here, in our program, the array we have declared here size is 10. Okay, if the size is 10, then even if we are using smaller size for our programming, but still the whole memory is allocated. Okay, so if I want to print all the addresses which are allocated for this, let me show you that what will be the address. So 10 number of rows and 10 number of columns are there, so I'm writing 10 rows 10 columns. Okay, just I will add oh sorry, I've just done it. Now you can see A FA50 54 58 5C, then 60 64 68 68 60 7074, now 78. Okay, here the it ends at 9C, then the next element is A0. So basically what does it mean? So it's a logical representation. In case of two-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array, it's a logical representation. But in memory, the elements are stored in a contiguous space. Okay, that's why these addresses are contiguous. Is it fine? Any confusion here?
Okay.
Okay. So in system memory, everything, the addresses are basically contiguous. So if we allocate an array, then the whole memory chunk or block will be allocated for it. It will be a contiguous memory allocation. It will not be discrete, that one element is stored at this address, another element is stored at different address. Okay. Now let us understand that if I want to terminate this terminal first. The terminal is running. Going back here. So in previous class we have discussed how to pass an array to a function. Okay. So if we want to pass an array to a function, I will just close this or end this class just after passing the things within function. So just you can see that here we are using this block twice. Okay? The same block is being used twice. So we have to write the same code twice within our program to take the input for the array. Okay. Now instead of that, what I can do, I will declare a function. Okay. So say read, the function is void read matrices, that means read mat. This is the name of the function. Okay. What is the task of this function? The task of this function is it will read the input. Okay. So here I have to pass an array. Say I will receive it as x. So for simplification, I'm using 10 10 here. How many elements are there which have to be read? So for array we have to pass dimension. So say it's a and another dimension is b. So dimension of this is a comma b. Okay. You have to read the values. So to read the values, I will just copy this loop. This is being used for reading the values. So I'll just copy this loop and I'll write it here. So here I have to declare some variables I for controlling the outer loop and j. Okay. So for I equals to 0, how long it will run? Dimension of x, if the dimension of the x array is ab, then it will be a, and here it will be b. Okay. So we will read the value and the value will be read in ij position of x matrix. Okay. So using this we can read the matrices. Any doubt in this function declaration and definition? In this function definition, if the function receives x, a two-dimensional array, and its dimension a and b, then it will run the loop and read the values. I'm going back here. So instead of writing this logic here, what I can do, I can just write read mat function call. If I call this function, what will be the, what I have to pass here? Array. The name of the array is a, then m n. This is the dimension. If I pass this array, then it will be done. Similarly, for second matrix, I will not write the same logic here. Just I will call this function and I will change the parameters. For second matrix, it will be b, it will be p, and dimension is cube. Okay, so you have to declare the function which you are defining here. So here we have declared the function, so let me define the function, so let me declare them. Just this. Now if I compile it, let me consider that 4, 2 is the dimension of the first matrix, 4, 2 is the dimension of the second matrix. So resultant matrix will be 4 by 3. And elements of the first matrix, I am just taking 1, 1, 1, 1. And second matrix is 1, 2 rows, 3 columns. Sorry, I should change that value. I have not changed it. MQ. And I want to print the value of the matrix. So percentile D Ij, not ampersand. Okay. I have to write it again. You are running out of time, no? This is the result. So whether it's working properly, we can just pass the arrays in this way. Okay? Name of the array needs to be passed. Pass it here, then in that way it will be executed. So similarly, we can just write the calculation thing, how the elements of C is being calculated. The calculation can be written in another function. Printing related things can be written in another function. So in that way, we have to divide it into different modules. Okay, so that the program, if we follow modular structure, then it will be reusable. So later on, if you need the same thing, you can reuse the program. Okay. Okay, fine. So you may join in the next class. I have taken your attendance. You may leave. So if you have any query, we will discuss it in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.